Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mama Adib bin Muhammad Sofi. So for my turn, I will explain the synopsis of our project. So our topic we choose clinic appointment and patient record system. So what it is? The clinic appointment and patient record system is a digital system that developed to improve the efficiency of clinic management. This system allow clinic staff to manage patient appointments digitally without relying on manual methods, thereby reducing congestion and minimizing wasting time. In addition, the system is capable of storing patient records, including personal information, treatment history, and medication details. This enables doctor and authorized staff to access and review patient information quickly and accurately. Furthermore, the system is equipped with security features to prevent unauthorized access, ensuring that patient data remains confidential and protected. The system can also generate various reports such as medical reports and appointment reports to assist the clinic in reviewing and managing records more effectively. Overall, the system enhances the efficiency of the clinic in operation while providing better, more organized and secure services to patients and clinic staff. Yeah, okay, that's
Hello, my name is Halden. I'm here to present about the goals and objectives about our clinic appointment system, making it digitalized. So, here we have goals and objectives. Digitalizing a vital operation in society, which is the clinic. So, the point in digitalizing the operations of a clinic is extremely important because when we want to book an appointment, we want it something fast. We want to be able to go in and get out and be treated as soon as possible without any delays. So, hence the system exists. So, the goals and objectives. So, digital appointment system. Digitalizing from booking the appointments, making it easier for doctors to view the patients itself and its medical reports. Inside the medical reports, you will find what type of medicine they are given, what types of recommendations the doctors have given them. So next we have clinic management, which would be from the doctor's point of view. The system will provide features that will be used by doctors to view what patients they have for the day, as well as view medical reports, as I've said before, as to what kind of medicine they are given and the recommendations. Now, from the clinic management system, but from the admin's perspective, you'd have more features than the doctors. From the admin side of things, they're able to add, remove the patients, as well as doctors. They can add or remove doctors, book appointments, delete patient records, and as well as to view the audit logs of the admins. Next and final, we have the goals of the system. So, what are we trying to do? We are trying to digitalize the clinic's appointment system, the daily operation. With the digital system in place, there will be no more records that are lost, and it will be an easier way to find patients and doctors' information, and a whole easy and efficient way to manage the clinic's daily operation. That's it for me. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Dinie bin Kamarudin, and I am going to continue with how to use the system. So for the first of all, our system will ask for the role. So if it is admin, so we need to put admin and then enter the correct ID and also the correct password. And then right here, for the admin menu, they can do 7 things, which is register patients. So the admin can enter the patient's name, IC, and age, and then add doctor. If there are any new doctors, so they can add to the system. And then book appointment. So the admin can book the appointment for the patients with the doctor. And then delete patient if there are any patients that they don't want in the system, and then update patient details. So they can update any changes about the patient details, and then delete doctor if they don't want the doctor anymore in the system, and then view report admin. So later for the doctor, Same goes like admin. So we need to put the correct ID and then the correct password. Okay, and then for the doctor menu, the doctor can do three things, which is view patients. So they can view the patients that have been booked appointments to the doctor, and then add medical record. So after diagnose the patients, so they can add medical record, whether for medicines or for recommendations for the doctor, so they can add to the record. And then view medical reports. So I will show the report. First report is for the admin report. So what admin can see is the system overview. So it can shows total appointments that have been made, total doctors and total patients, and then patient record, all the patient records, and then doctor record, appointment log, which is that appointment that has been booked, and then medical record of the patients. And then for the doctor reports, what the doctor can see is the patient's conditions, which is the patient's details, the diagnosis and treatment, such as fever and flu, and the medicines that have been given, same as the admin report. And then the doctor action plans, which is not included in the admin, uh, include in the admin report, which is recommendations from the doctor, and then the follow-up details, and then appointment status. So yeah, that is all from our discussions, and maybe soon we will have improvements for our systems. And thank you for now.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Shaheed Putra bin Salim. So for the next part, I will explain about the OP concept requirement for our system, which is clinic appointment and booking system. So we go one by one. So for the OP concept that we use for our system, so we go for the first one, which is array of object. Array object is simply of a collection of objects stored together in a single array structure. So let's we go for the example how we implement to our system. So for our clinic system class, we use a static array to store and manage all objects in the system. For example, we have an array called patients that can store up to 100 objects. We also use a counter variable like patient count to track how many objects are actually stored. So for the second one is encapsulation. So it's hiding data inside a class and only allowing access through controls door. There is some example coding, which is a patient class. All sensitive medical data such as blood type, allergy, and medical history are declared as private. This means they cannot be accessed directly from outside the class. Instead, to using it, we provide a public getter and also a setter method to control how this data is accessed and modified. For example, to read a patient blood type, we use a get blood type. So for update allergy, we use a set allergy. This protects patient data from accidental modification. So we go to the next part, which is inheritance and polymorphism. Inheritance is when a child class get all the features of a parent class and add its own special features. So basically, in a user class, it contains a common attribute shared by all the users, such as user ID, name, and password. So we can see that the three class inherited from the user, which is patient, doctor, and admin. Each derived class automatically gets all the attributes and method from the user, and then it's add its own specific features. So for example, like patient add its blood type, doctor as a specialization, and admin as the staff ID. So for the next concept, we use polymorphism, which means the same action behave differently depending on who is doing it. So what does it mean? So in the user class, we declare a virtual function called display dashboard. Each derived class overrides this function with its own implementation. This happens when we use a base class pointer. Current user is a pointer of type user. When we call a display dashboard, the program automatically calls the correct version based on the actual object type. So for example, if the current user point to a patient, it will show a patient dashboard. If the current user point to a doctor, it will show the doctor dashboard. So we go to the next part, which is association that's combined with aggregation and also composition. So aggregation is a used relationship where object can exist independently. Composition is almost a relationship where object can exist without each other. So I explain further about it. So for the aggregation, for the appointment class, it has a pointer to a patient and also a doctor. If the appointment is cancelled and delete, the patient and the doctor object is still exists independently in the system. Beside the composition, for example, like the medical record class or the prescription object. So if in the destructure of the medical record, we delete all the associated prescription. So if medical record is deleted, all the prescription are automatically deleted. It means that it cannot exist without the medical record. So we go to the next part, which is exception handling and security. So exception handling is a catches error before they crash our program. So we use a try catch block through the system. When booking an appointment, we validate that the patient ID exists, the doctor ID exists, and also the time slot is available. If any validation failed, we throw an exception with a meaningful error message. For the security part, it protects sensitive data through login, role-based access, and also update log. For the login authentication, user must provide a correct ID and password to. If the user wrongly enter the ID and password, it will return false. And for the role-based access, it means that the patient can only view their own record. And for the doctor only can access the assigned patient. For the last one is the update log. It means every action is recorded with a timestamp for accountability. So I think that's all for the OOP concept. Thank you for listening.